On this week's edition of the Game and Chair podcast, we will be talking about games that we may have or may not have played, but we're hoping that you don't notice because otherwise, why would this podcast exist? And we're back. Welcome to episode 11
Is that
of
what
the Game
episode
and
we're
Chair.
up to now?
We're way behind on the other show, but welcome to episode 11, I believe, of the Game and Chair podcast. Even though this is not technically like the 11th time that you've seen us, if you've been following us on Twitch and seeing our gameplays for like Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight, Back for Blood, the infamous screen where I could only play like 10 minutes before quitting. So we have been around much longer than that, ladies and gentlemen, but this is officially episode 11 of the Gaming Chair podcast, the third episode without our guy, Mr. Isaiah Jones, who's busy handling some business out in Tennessee, but he will be back in January of 2022. Mr. Ladale times two. But in the meantime, you still got us. You got me, Ladale the Fashionista. And alongside me today is the Black Don himself, Shawn. Tell him what's going on, brother.
Yo, what's up, people? If you see me wince in pain right now, I recently got my braces tightened and I can actually feel my teeth shifting. So, you'll probably see me do that or like just wince a little bit.
Hey man, that's progress. That's progress, man. It's almost that. Basically mean that soon the braces will be coming off very soon.
That shit hurt.
Bro, I have braces. I already know the deal, bro. Like I already know the deal. Shout out to my dad. I hope she's still alive. Because it was a long time ago. But you end up coming across this. Just know that Ladell was thinking of you. But y'all not here for the dentist talk or anything like that. Y'all here for the gaming talk. You know how we normally get down on the gaming chat. We're basically like the ghetto version of IGN and all that. But that's why most of y'all fuck with us. Because y'all don't want that corporate, professional feel. Like you want to know whether or not we play games or not. So let's get into our first segment of the week. Um, what games have we been playing this week? So let's start with you, my gosh. So what games have you been playing this week, or have you been playing games this week? Because sometimes we playing games, but yet we're on the podcast talking about video games, so it's kind of like an oxymoron. So
For
where we
sure.
at this week with it?
Let's see. So this week, mostly, I've been playing one of the free games that had came up for November back on the PS4, which is actually the Knockout City. If any of y'all have ever played that, it's basically like 3-team dodgeball that you play with like you go your friends and stuff like that. I've been like in a crew with like two of my other friends. I'm not gonna give you the crew name; it's very inappropriate. But it's just know like I just got a hang of it, and it's actually very fun. You should join it.
Okay. As for me, I'm gonna play Forza Horizon 5 because I'm not sure because I ain't gonna hold y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I should not be saying this. And if y'all click away from this video, if this is your first time viewing the Game of Chair podcast on the Top Podcast Network, first of all, welcome to the channel. And I hope that what I'm about to say does not dissuade you, if that is a word. Is dissuade a word?
Dissuade this dissuade a word?
I know
Hey Siri,
persuade. I know there's a
it's
persuade.
dissuade a word.
Getting directions to work.
I told you this is the ghetto show. The show is ghetto. But anyway, I hope what I'm about to say does not deter you. All right, I know that's
That's
definitely a
better.
word.
I know that's a
Does
word.
not exactly. I hope what I'm about to say does not deter you from this episode, but I don't necessarily play video games every week unless like we're streaming or something like that, which is like every Thursday, every second and third Thursday of the month. That's our schedule. Link to our Twitch channel is in the description box below. But Xbox, I don't know which week it was, or I know it was this past weekend when I checked it out. They have the new cloud system now. Because before they used to have it like on mobile devices, like on your phone, your tablet, like you could like stream your games through the cloud. You can now do it on your system. Because you know how like on PlayStation now, right? You can kind of like download the games and stream it if you have like stable internet.
Mhm.
You can now do that on Xbox, the Series X. I'm not sure if the Xbox One it allows you to do it, but I'm assuming it is because Xbox, it's a whole ecosystem, so they kind of like share features and shit. But I was playing Forza Horizon 5, and for someone that hasn't played Forza since the Xbox 360 days, I know that's a long time ago. I thoroughly enjoyed the game.
Okay.
I enjoyed the gameplay. Even though it kind of gets repetitive, hear the same soundtracks over and over again. But just driving around in Mexico, driving through sandstorms and all that, it just seemed like the photorealistic graphics. I think it was some dope shit. So I've been playing that. Of course, we're in the middle of football season, so I also been playing Madden. So that's mostly what I've been playing most of this week. I haven't gotten back into Back for Blood just yet, but who knows? I might get into it next Thursday when we're screaming on Twitch, just for some fun content. So that might be the next time I play that. Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the game, but I haven't played it since I first bought it when it first came out, which is crazy. I know. That's what I said, ladies and gentlemen. Do not judge me. I basically I buy games just because I like having new shit. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if something comes out, I just want to be like, I at least have it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to play it, I could just all right, it's already on my hard drive, it's already on my expansion card. I could just play it rather I have to purchase it. It doesn't really make a difference if you buy your games digital or not. But I just like having shit on my hard drive, know that okay, I have access to it whenever I want to play it. You know what I mean? But speaking of games that I do not have, but I'm glad I have not played Battlefield, 2042 and Call of Duty Vanguard. So that'll basically bring us to our this weekend gaming segment. Both games have Shawn.
Mhm.
Both of these games are not also stutter starts whatsoever. These are the first two games on the new next gen hardware.
Okay.
Graphically, they're very good, but they're buggy as hell, especially in the case of Battlefield 2042. Now, what were the main problems with Battlefield 2042? Now, I'm also like you remember me, you out there did the whole. I believe it was it E3 or Gamescom, something like that, where you
Mhm.
all checked out like the trailer for the game. We're like, oh my god, it looks breathtaking.
Mhm.
It really does. But what was the main? Do you remember the main complaint that I had about the game?
The main complaint that you had about the game back then. Graphics were dope. Remember that little segment we saw everything? I think what was it? The girl was like running in and all stuff like that, going through the different buildings and all the stuff.
That was Call of Duty. That
That
was
was Call of
Vanguard.
Duty.
Yeah.
Okay. I do not actually. What was your main complaint?
Okay. My main complaint was the fact that there was no story campaign
Yes.
for the game. All right, that is still true. That is still true. But it's just unfortunate that, and we actually have the article here, so we can basically go through most of the main problems
Got you.
for the game. But one of the biggest issues is the fact that it's a buggy mess. Now, according to this article from Kotaku.com, the title is EA plans Battlefield Universe following awful Battlefield 2042 launch. Okay. So, what are the main issues with this game? Like I said, the simple fact that the game is a buggy mess.
Mm-hmm.
Online does not work properly. So there's that. And then like most of the features just they don't work well at launch. And one of the biggest problems, especially when you have a game where it's like mostly online only, everything needs to work properly.
Pretty much.
So because there's not really that much to do in the game. So like, all right, there's one aspect of the game. Let's say, for instance, if an online mode is broken, at least you can be like, okay, well, I can at least play the campaign mode. You can't even do that.
Because there's no campaign mode.
Exactly. So when your whole game is just based off, online play, and that's not working properly due to like bugs, and and just issues that could just affect the overall performance of the game. That's basically nerfing the lifespan of the game right there. So, but in a statement from a Battlefield 2042 rep from it basically said from Respawn Entertainment, Mr. co-founder CEO Vince Zampella will now be overseeing the Battlefield development following the departure of DICE general manager Oscar Gaberson. Zampella was previously in charge with overhauling DICE Los Angeles in early 2021, a move that I'm basically reading shit word for word, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to fill up some time for this show. Just give me a break. I'll just be transparent about what it is. All right. It's a move that saw a company rebrand as Ripple Effect Studios that August. Ripple Effect is credited with the development Battlefield 2042's well-regarded portal mode, which allows players to create custom matches with content from previous games. Okay. Now, in the statement, it reads, we will continue to evolve and grow Battlefield 2042 and will explore new kinds of experiences and business models along the way that we can add to that foundation to provide an awesome array of experiences for our players. Zampella told GameSpot. In this universe, the world is interconnected with shared characters and narrative. This universe is also built with our community as we harness the power of Portal and user-generated content that puts creativity in the hands of our players. So basically, the game is basically working on I believe, if we could take away one thing from this article here, that they're working on a universe mode, which I guess is kind of like, it's gonna be a space where, like, I guess this is my assumption, ladies and gentlemen. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really do that much research as I should have for this. just being honest, but it seems like, because on the PlayStation side, you have PS4 users, they can play with PS5 users on most games. Xbox One users can play with Series X users in one game. So it seems like it's bringing that hub together, so to speak. So basically, everybody could just, play together and all that. So, with that being said, like I
Mhm.
said, the main issues for the game was it's just a buggy mess, and the online component just does not work properly. So with that, let's get to the Call of Duty Vanguard issue because the public outcry for that game, the public, what's the word for it? The public criticism. Let's just go with that because it's just an easy word to think of at this point in time. Is the
You were
Call of
close
Duty
for
fan
outrage.
base
You said
outrage?
outrage.
Right?
Outrage would have been
Yeah,
worse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at the time of this recording, like we basically spent like a whole hour talking about something that had nothing to do with it. Okay, so so give us a break, all right? And you want that type of content, then subscribe to our future Patreon. I haven't decided on the tiers yet, but we're working on it. We got some great content for you guys. Deal with, like, man stuff, relationship, all that shit. Basically everything that we can't talk about on YouTube.
The heart chair.
Yeah, right. But the outrage in regards to, like, Call of Duty Vanguard is, like, their fan base has been way more vocal because obviously more people play Call of Duty, right? It's only right. But the thing is with Call of Duty Vanguard is that not too many people already. It's not so much that the game is a buggy mess, anything like that. Even though it is in some areas, but people aren't really buying the game.
Vanguard?
They're really not. And it's crazy because, like, okay, we're on next generation consoles. It's still hard to get a PS5 and a Series X to this day.
Oh,
You,
before we continue with that news, it was something else that I had looked up earlier today. Apparently, there was like a drop. There was a secret, not like a secret drop, but like basically, I think the PS5 and the Xbox Series X dropped in Target to like
Mhm.
sell and sold out within a few minutes. Like legit, I read an article that stated, oh, it was like a sale going on for like, the Xbox and something over at Target. And then within the next few minutes, the article was updated and said it was sold out. And I was just
Wow.
like, what was the
I
point of
mean,
the
that
article?
that has just been gaming in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Like, shit is just not going according to plan, man. It's just not, unfortunately, you know. And then we have, the GTA. I don't think we was had the opportunity to talk. I know we did speak about it beforehand, but even some fans are not even so hot on that trilogy that was released. The definitive edition that had GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. like yeah, it basically plays like those games still, but it's like it's just a remaster, so to speak.
Mm.
And plus, you don't have access to all the songs for the previous games, just like licenses issues, stuff like that. GTA 3 is obviously the worst one to play, because it's the older game and it still feels like an older game, just like the game mechanics, everything like that. But
Mm.
and see, like gaming in 2021 has just been like a real bust.
Like everything else
Honestly,
in 2021.
yeah, like like I'm not sure if Isaiah here said that Ratchet Clank was a pretty good game.
Mm.
So there's that. And then I believe there's another game. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk about it because I don't remember the name of the game. And I'll people like, oh my god, this motherfucker don't know the name of the game. So why is he talking video game? But like there hasn't really been that much quality games that have come out this year. But let's get to Vanguard before we go to um your review of Resident Evil Raccoon City because you're like a movie expert on the show. Like you're always out of the theaters watching the movie. I know you go see Spider Man.
Oh, I already watched.
Oh, you already know. I already know. I said, shame on me for asking. Shame on me for asking. So if you want Sean's thoughts on that movie, stay tuned. When does it come out? December 17th?
So it's supposed to come out December 17th, but because my best friend was on it, we're going to see it the following night. So we're going to see it, I think, Thursday night.
Okay. All right. Well, here we are. Just thank you, IGF, for basically giving us some content for this show. Definitely appreciate you guys. Even though y'all know who the hell we are. But Call of Duty fans reveal why they aren't buying Vanguard. And the subtext reads, we're all just too busy, man. Which, I mean, like, busy with what? Because there hasn't really been that many hot gaming releases this year. You know what I mean? Like, there's been some good shit. Like, don't get me wrong, but nothing like groundbreaking. Like, oh my god! Like, we haven't had like a God of War or like an Uncharted or like a Last of Us type of release. Or a Ghost of Tsushima. I know name all PlayStation games because let's be for real, PlayStation they make they make the best exclusives. Like no disrespect to Xbox. Like I love Xbox. I love my Series X. I love being a part of the Xbox ecosystem, but PlayStation, they just got us beat when it comes out to the exclusive. Like, let's be for real. But according to a survey by Game Industry Biz, a survey 671 gaming convention attendees recently about their Call of Duty purchase habits. Of those 284 individuals said they have purchased Call of Duty games in the last 5 years, but only 59 people, 59 gamers, 21% of that group said they have bought Vanguard. And this is the latest release, by the way. Of that remaining group that recently purchased Call of Duty games but did not buy Vanguard, more than half of respondents, 55%, said they were too busy playing other games already. So that's kind of interesting right there, because let's unpack that for a second. Vanguard, that's just basically the game that just recently released, but and we all know like Call of Duty is like it's a big time first person shooter franchise. It's probably the biggest first person shooter out there. You know what I mean? Because Gears of War is not really active right now. Halo is low key making a comeback with Infinite, and the campaign will be released very soon. But do you feel the fact that
Battlefield would have been the next one?
yeah, but Battlefield hasn't released a great game since Battlefield 4. If we're being honest, because I played Battlefield Hardline, I played Battlefield 5, I played Battlefield 1. I didn't play 2042, thank God, because it had no campaign mode. But do you think that Call of Duty part basically shot themselves in the foot by releasing Call of Duty Warzone, the free-to-play game?
I would honestly, I'll say I can't understand that probably being why a lot of people maybe haven't bought the newest game, and I can kind of say as much as I guess that like that mini caption where I say we're all busy playing video game like other games, that comes because of I would say that will honestly come because of what has become the DLC system of gaming lately, where basically games are almost like endlessly still going. So even like let's say using something recent, Ghost of Tsushima. though that may have been like a story game, like a storyline game where you play through. It might be open world, so you're exploring and everything. Every time that games decide that they want to do more DLC or keep a storyline going, you're kind of stuck on that game for a while. Like I know Destiny 2 has basically been updating and doing a bunch of other things, like I guess over the years, that's keeping people enthralled. One of my friends basically tries to get me to come on Destiny 2 almost like every other month or so like that. And I do want to go check it out. It's just I'm usually busy with all everything else that's going on. But the fact that Destiny 2 will keep releasing stuff, and I think they're also gearing up for another big expansion pack next year, is kind of like showcasing what games have been doing a lot lately, which is basically we're no longer getting full versions of games, or we're getting games that don't end anymore. So with them releasing, let's say, Call of Duty
like GTA
Warzone,
5
like
or
GTA 5.
GTA Online, rather GTA Online, I should say.
At this point, GTA Online, it's its own entity, and they keep releasing new stuff for it. So we keep saying, when are you gonna get to the next GTA? What, like GTA 6? I think that's what we're waiting for now. We're
Yeah.
waiting for GTA 6, but because GTA Online has become its own thing in its own kind of right, with missions and plot lines and all the stuff like that. And I don't even remember. I feel like we talked about it before. When did GTA 5 come out? It's been at least a solid 7 to 10 years now.
2013. It was on the 360 and the PS3 first.
Like,
What
that's a
game goes
problem.
through 3 console generations? That's
That's a
crazy.
problem. Like this I guess this whole DLC thing is honestly what's taking away like the DLCs, and like I guess just this thing to keep like you enthralled in this one game universe is what's keeping us all kind of like stagnant with any new games that come out. Because let's say I'm gonna sound, I guess, bad to say it, but let's be honest. Games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, I would say this even about the sports games sometimes, but it's like it's usually the same mechanic over and over again, just with maybe the plot change, a detail change. When it comes to NBA, I love to make the joke about they just enhance the sweat. Everything looks more realistic. You see how much sweat is going down their face. But it's like it's just we're playing basically almost the same game over and over again. Just they just update the form. Like we end up having to buy a new version of the game. So I'll say to hear like I guess Vanguard not doing so well, it's both surprising, but it's not surprising at all because you got stuff like Warzone. I'm pretty sure they remastered. What was it? They remastered one of the older Call of Duties again. I don't remember which one. Was it Modern Warfare?
I believe so.
So okay, if they remodeled Modern Warfare, and if a lot of people felt like that was
Cause that was
because
the
of
last. That was the last one that came out before. Wait, the first Modern Warfare, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 'cause I know there's Modern Warfare that came out on the 360, and then they remastered it. But there's something to it.
Right. So like if
Something
they're,
about
let's say, even like how you just brought up, they're remastered the GTA trilogy or whatever. Like even if they're bombing, I guess right now, it's the fact that we're all playing kind of old games over and over again because they keep remastering old games and getting us back into it. So nobody's going for anything new now. Almost, this goes for like a lot of stuff. You can even use that with like movies, since we're gonna be talking about that later. But like when you basically remaster a game or you just keep changing one minor detail, everybody kind of gets over it, I want to say, very quickly. So you just play the one that you like. And if everybody like, let's say, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, then you probably got a bunch of people still on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare server in
I mean,
Vanguard.
and look at Rainbow Six Siege, which is one of Isaiah's favorite games. That game still gets updated.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But in the case of Vanguard, basically the overall perspective of everybody in the gaming community is that it's not so much that it's not as bad as Battlefield 2042.
Hmm.
That's first and foremost. But like I said, the outrage for Call of Duty is gonna be always gonna exceed our Battlefield because there's more people that play Call of Duty. There's more of a market machine behind Call of Duty than Battlefield. The thing is that I'm here out for the Call of Duty fan base is that Vanguard just has a shorter campaign,
Hmm.
and the online modes is nothing groundbreaking. So maybe the better question could be for this is, you know, are gamers just get like gaming fatigue, so to speak? Because like you said, like people just comfortable playing the games that they have, so like are developers just unable to just to like make content that's kind of like basically like next gen worthy? Because let's be for instance, like I know like me and you were both trying to get a PS5, right?
Mm.
Still to this day. Lucky that I got my Series X on day one, but I hardly have any like next gen exclusives that I'm like playing on a regular on it, because I'm like, okay, like this doesn't really necessarily feel next gen. Like, what are the groundbreaking features?
Mm.
You know what I mean? So like, are gaming developers, are they just not like? Because granted, like they could get the graphics up there. Obviously, like that's been proven. Even though the graphic leap from the PS4 to the PS5 and the Xbox One to the Series X is not that big of a jump as it was from the PS3 to PS4 and the 360 to the Xbox One. It's not that, except for like a few pixels here and there, so clearer, defined. Like with Spider Man, Spider Man on PS4 to Spider Man on the PS5, like stuff effect. Oh, like you can see your reflection in the mirror, or see more details in the shoe. Like it's basically like the same graphical game. It
Mm.
just runs faster, smoother, but that's about it. So I don't know. Maybe the main thing is the fact that it could come down to the fact that like justice is just hard to find, but also at the same time, these games are also available on the current gen platforms as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just not offering, anything that's groundbreaking that us as gamers haven't already played. So I think that's the main thing.
Honestly,
Yeah.
everybody's
But
bored.
yeah. But if you guys are looking for new games to play, if you're on, the PlayStation's systems or the Xbox system, we do have some game announcements for you guys. Um, on the PlayStation side, for PlayStation Plus games for December, we have Godfall, the Challenger Edition. That was a game that basically was supposed to be like a PS5 exclusive, but then just as most of the PS5 exclusives, they released it on PS4 because they were like, hey, everybody don't have a PS5, so we have option to make some more money off of these games. So why not just release these games on PS4? So I have with the case of Godfall. Then we also have DC Supervillains, Lego DC Supervillains. That's also coming for PlayStation Plus games for December, and then we have Mortal Shell. So those are your three PlayStation Plus games for December. They will all be available on December 7th. On the Xbox side, it's a struggle for us boys out here. We get we get the Escapist 2, which will be available for December 1st through December 31st. We also have Tropical 5, which will be available from December 16th to January 15th. We have the Xbox 360 Orcs Must Die, which will be available for December 1st through December 15th. And we have Insanely Twisted Shadow Pet, which will be available from December 16th to December 31st, which is another Xbox 360 game. All four of those games are games that I have never heard of, but you know what? That's okay because we have Xbox Game Pass, and Game Pass, they always give us some good shit. So that basically concludes our This Week in Gaming. But we're curious though, before we wrap up this topic, like what game, like, if you own Battlefield 2042, if you own Call of Duty Vanguard, which game do you feel has been like the most disappointing between the two? And tell us, are you still playing those games? And if you are, like obviously like what's keeping you playing them? One. And two, if you're not, then basically what can, DICE and EA, what can Activision over at Call of Duty, what can they do to basically win you guys this trust over and get you guys to play these new titles that just released this past month that basically like they just lost so much momentum in the span of like 3 weeks, which is crazy because both games came out literally 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But yes, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you made it this far, But we're gonna wrap up this show with our review because, like I said, Shawn here, he's our movie guy. So tell us, what did you think of Resident Evil? Welcome to Raccoon City.
Okay, so let's see. I can't remember the guy's name right now. Hold up, let me make sure I do that justice. At least Resident Evil. Welcome to the raw real show that is the chair. I'm looking up information right now as I'm talking.
I mean, like no cat though. You've been like the MVP of this whole. episode, because I was just winging it. You see, I have to be reading shit for these websites just to fill up time. Like, at least you know your shit. I'm
All right.
pretending on my shit.
So apparently the director for this reboot, the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, is a big fan of the series. And this actually showcases itself in the actual movie because rather than with the original franchise, which was focused on like a whole kind of like original character, I think Alice was her name. This one actually has at least
Wait, was it Claire?
No, well, okay, so in the original series, I think a few of them show up. Like I think Jill shows up, Chris shows up, Leon shows up near the end. I think Claire does show up at some point. So they incorporate them at some point. Wesker, I think, was a big antagonist for that thing, but like the overall main character was like Alice. So they did do some kind of justice for the, I guess, the video game series where they brought in the characters. They just weren't necessarily the focus of it as much as Alice was. So to retcon that, in this one, we get the main focus was basically Chris, Leon, Jill, Wesker, and Ada, who kind of shows up near the end of the movie. Sorry, spoilers. That's the one spoiler thing that I'm revealing right now.
Hold on, let me know. Hold on, let me know. Is Dr. Birkin in the movie?
Birkin also shows up in it. So this movie basically was tailored to anybody who's a fan of the actual game. The only problem that I found in this movie is that basically because so many, like, they're trying to, I guess, give to like the fans of like the game series and everything. So there's Easter eggs scattered around it. The characters themselves don't really feel too fleshed out. Like, you know who they are because you get their names and stuff like that. But other than that, they're like kind of like just kind of shadow versions of who they are, like in the game. So it's like, you have their names, and maybe they show like a little bit of a character trait of who they are in the game, but that's mostly like about it. Like, this, like, they got like maybe I think like Claire's wearing like her iconic red jacket from the second game. Leon, when you first see him, he's obviously in his like the Raccoon City,
tactical shit.
yeah, the Raccoon City tactical shirt. Chris is in his, like, I guess, the tactical one from going like away on the trip. Jill is, Wesker is, like, it shows that. But for the most part, the movie. What's up, Liddell? I thought you were about to say something.
Yeah, and does Dr. Birkin, does he kind of like mutate?
He mutates. We get that. We get that.
Okay,
We get
cool.
Dr. Birkin, like the enemy Dr. Birkin, kind of as the villain-ish. Yeah, like
He's actually my favorite character throughout the whole Resident Evil series. I know some people they love Nemesis and all, but
you
to
like
me, Dr.
Birkin?
Birkin, yeah, he's tragic because like he's a scientist, he has his daughter, and to that, but like he just his work just got the best of him. It just got out of control. It's just
So
tragic
it's
how
like,
he just go like this human being to like this monster like figure. It's just
oh,
it's
like they
crazy.
they they do that. They go when Dr. Birkin goes to his mutations. They're at least they fit who they are. I'll say it like that. Like, he comes when he mutates, he gets that like whole the big eye thing that's on like his,
His
I
arm.
guess, chest and everything, his arm and everything. They at least do that. The only problem, like I was saying, the only problem is
Does they
because they're
show
like,
all three transformations?
I think they showed all three. Did they show all three transformations? I think they
Because he's
did show
supposed to
all
be some big ass monster at the end that just can't walk or nothing, but has like this gigantic mouth.
There we
And
go.
like and then like at the train station, kind of at the end of the game, like basically like he's like chasing them, like Claire and I forgot, I think it's Leon at the train station.
They do that.
Okay.
So basically, like, I'll say that, I guess that goes into it. What the problem with this movie was, because of, I guess, the pacing issue, they legit tried to fit the storyline for game one and game two in one movie. And when I say that, it's like they keep jumping back and forth between what Jill and Chris are doing in the mansion, like with Wesker and all of that, and they jump to what's going on in Raccoon City with like Claire and Leon.
That
But
just
what
sounds like a mess.
it becomes a mess simply because they don't fully flesh it out. Like they kind of like they show the characters and then they're like, all right, cool. We throw Chris in jail and Wesker that way. They get on the helicopter, they get on the helicopter. They go to check the mansion. This person dies. It's like this person dies. The helicopter flies through the mansion. This is going on. This is going on. Then we go over to like Leon and like Jill, Leon and Claire, and this is going on, and this is going on, and the rookie, Leon is the rookie because that's what he was in the second game. He's the rookie, and this and this, and it kind of put some like humor in there a little bit, some gore, they throw some gore, some humor, but everything just feels not fully fleshed out and just rushed. Like if they would have focused on maybe either the second game or the first game first, like to introduce us into the world, like if they were actually gonna like film adapt the series, it probably would have worked more, where it's just like, all right, we get the whole story for like the first movie maybe, and then we get the like maybe for a sequel we get the second like the second game for the second movie. That would have been cool, but legit everything gets rushed. So when Birkin does show up as the villain, the fight honestly isn't even like a fight. It's like kind of like almost like pow. It's like a kind of a pow. He's down. He transforms. Pow. He's down. He transforms. And when he turns into, again, this is going to be a major spoiler, but when he turns into the big form, there's no big fight. Legit, like they kind of do what happens at the end of every Resident Evil game. Leon comes out with a rocket launcher, the staple of how they always end Resident Evil games, blasts him away, and then they walk out, and it just says Resident Evil, and you're kind of sitting there just like.
So all these transformations happen in the span of how many minutes?
The final act happens in at least 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like it's not really drawn out. Like, what is it? When Birkin transforms, he catches like Claire or whatever, or he's throwing one of them around. Maybe it's like, I think he's throwing Chris around. He's throwing like Chris around. Claire comes and she's like, let go of my brother. The kind of cliche line, like, let go of my brother. Shoots him down. They get on the train, and then he hits that last transformation. He's chasing them on the train, and it wasn't even a chase. Like, they're on the train going. Raccoon City itself starts to get destroyed, and then he shows up to basically breaks the train in half a little bit. He's going after them, and the next it's just Leon with a rocket launcher. Boom. Movie's over. You're just kind of like, okay. I got a vague version, I got a vague storytelling of this whole entire first two games, just missing some minor details and stuff like that.
I don't know what happened there. That's it. That's crazy. All right, so how would you review? So what's your final score for the game? No, fuck that. Is this game worth watching in theaters? Is it worth renting on digital DVD, or is it people just skip it?
So it's like, okay, so if you're a fan of the video game series, this is one of those you would most likely want to watch this when it comes on TV or to rent it, kind of stuff like that. It probably isn't worth the theater view because you're honestly kind of just gonna kind of sit there and get again, if you're the fan of the thing, you'll enjoy it simply for the fact of seeing, oh, here's the favorite characters from the series, or vague pale imitations of who they are. Oh, this is Raccoon City. Oh, this is the Spencer Mansion. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, I know that. I recognize that jacket. Oh, look, I'm laughing. They got the rocket launcher. They did it. Yay, kind of stuff like that. But otherwise, if you're let's say someone trying to get into the series, you're better off playing the game. You should honestly just play the game. You shouldn't watch this movie. You wouldn't necessarily know anything that's really going on from watching this movie if you are a new fan.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Now, see, all heroes do not wear capes. Shawn he watches these movies in theaters so that people like me and you don't have to, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, what he's saying is, do not bother watching this movie because this movie's gonna be on Tubi real soon. It's gonna be one of those on those free to play, on smart TV channels. That's basically what it is. But so brother, we said about that time. It was about time for us to plug ourselves on the way out. Let everybody know what we're doing and everything like that. But before we do that, are there any games that you're planning on playing this weekend?
So let's see. I know you said Godfall comes out on the 7th, and I feel like I actually thought that would look impressive. Like, I don't know why I didn't get into it when it first came out, but I might get, like, Godfall when it comes out on the 7th. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
it's a free to play. Like, why not? You got nothing to lose.
but like otherwise, it's gonna be more Knockout City. Probably gonna try to actually commit and finish some of the actual games that I've been sitting on for a while. Like I think one of the last times we all talked, I said I got Saints Row the third, I think remastered. Like I kind of got like a bundle of Saints Row and Saints 4, maybe. So maybe I actually finished that game. I should also finish Miles Morales because I haven't finished Miles Morales since it came out. Hey, but hey,
Hey
I'm just
man, you're talking someone that hasn't even finished GTA 5, and that game been out for like 8 years, bro. So like, it is what it is. As for me, I'm well, I'm not. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not sure I'm gonna be playing no video games this week. I got mad shit to do. But if I find the time, I would like to. I'll definitely be like I think in a Marvel mood because I definitely want to finish Avengers because we got the Disney Plus stuff with like Hawkeye.
Isn't
That just
Spider-Man
was.
also coming out for? I think they're dropping Spider-Man in Avengers now, aren't they?
Yes, he is, but he's only gonna be on PlayStation consoles, unfortunately. So.
Mm.
I have the game for PlayStation 4 as well, so it doesn't really matter. But I like it better on the Series X because it just runs smoother. Because one of my biggest criticisms playing on the PS4 is the fact that it's hard for me to control Iron Man. But on the Series X, because due to the improved frame rate, it's much smoother, to like control him up in the air. So I definitely want to play some more Avengers and also Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to finish that. So those will be the two games that I'll be playing, this weekend if I can, because I do have responsibilities and people that are dependent on me, you know, and all that. But I'll say that without saying too much. Sean here already know what I mean by that.
You know that's on Patreon.
Yeah.
But the heart.
Yeah, no shit. But we recently part that show. It's time for us to plug ourselves on the way out. So Sean, let everybody know where they can find you on social media, PSN, Nintendo Switch, all that good stuff.
Got you. So if you want to play with me, follow me. I also am trying to get into the habit of adding more to the channel by streaming some of the games that I play myself. So if anything, you can find me on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. You'll find me all on my social medias with Black Dawn. I've pretty much cornered the market. Oh, where is it? Right there. I've cornered
Right
the
there.
market on that name at this moment. And if
Let's
you
see.
want to,
Hold on. Let's see if we can get the safe fair to fair. I'm gonna remove myself so we can get that.
got you. So if you want to follow me on like social medias and keep up with me there, you can follow me on Black Dawn on mostly everything. That's TikTok, Twitch, IG. And if you want to play with me on like PSN, it's Saint Pharaoh right there. And I believe that's also my Switch ID too. So you'll either find me under Black Dawn or Saint Pharaoh. Those two.
Okay. As for me, you guys can find me on IG at Ladale Fashionista. I'm also the moderator in the True Urban Culture IG page. So you want to inquire about possible interview inquiries or event coverages or want to like do any feature collabs, reach out to me there, and then we can basically talk business and hopefully make some magic happen. In regards to on the gaming side, you can find me on the PSN at D1Mav718 and on the Xbox Ladizzy LADIZZY90. So that's basically where you can find us, guys. So you want to play with us? Like those are our handles. Also, we'll be on Twitch next week. We will not be doing our typical roundtable podcast. So maybe we might screen some Back for Blood. See if I get. We already know how that's gonna go. Then we might play some Dead by Daylight. One thing about it, we're gonna play our horror games and shit like that because the whole thing is the gist is I get spooked easily. Play the game. It makes for like some fun content. So you want to see little old smooth calm Liddell get spooked out and start yelling and shit and just fucking have his controller aiming and then shoot at a wall because I'm like so flustered that you definitely want to check us out on Twitch at the Tuck Wait, what's that shit?
Isn't it still the gaming chair?
Yeah, the gaming chair, the gaming chair underscore pod. The link to our Twitch will be in the chat. Oh, fucking shit. We're ghetto over here. See, we're not IG. We have somebody like writing, like, like a fucking formal like closing and shit like that. So our Twitch is the gaming chair underscore pod. That's what I believe it is. But if I'm wrong, the link will be in the description. Just make sure you check that shit out. All right. But yes, until then, ladies and gentlemen, catch us next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. We'd love to see you guys play some games and all that type of stuff. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Actually, before we get out of here, Shawn, I know it's not Thanksgiving anymore, but what have you been the most thankful for this year?
I've been the most thankful for, honestly, like self-growth, the new people that I've been meeting in my life, and the way that my life seems to be going. Joining this podcast and everything has actually been very entertaining, very helpful, very growth stuff. And I'm looking forward to like where, Tuck goes in the future.
Exactly. Thank you. And I'm excited about that as well. We have some great things on the horizon here at Tuck. There's a lot of a rebrand is coming. There's still going to be Tuck, but we're going to push Culture 7 because that's what our founder, CEO, and editor-in-chief Antonio Godfrey, that's what he was working on before he passed. So myself, Kalo, Shawn, Marie, Donnie, Noel, Kenny, I don't want to name everybody because I don't want to forget everybody. Isaiah, Darius, Lou, Jessica, Kelsey, Deja, Tamara, everybody. Did I say Kenny? Kenny. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know.
I don't know why I'm suddenly thinking of that song. Felicia. Teacher.
Right there, right?
3 Kims.
Tara, all y'all, like Amari, who does most of our graphic work, so I truly appreciate and thankful for everybody that's a part of the True Urban Culture team. I'm excited. Oh yeah, and Tyler as well, our editor. I'm excited for what we have coming in store for you guys in 2022. The Gaming Chair podcast. I know like we're kind of like a hot ass mess right now, but when we still try to find ways to make this shit entertaining for you guys. We don't really take ourselves too seriously, but at the end of the day, we also want to give you guys the best possible product. And in the coming weeks, we're definitely gonna try to incorporate more of our personalities within like these shows, especially like with our Twitch streams. Because most of you guys mostly see me on camera, but I want you guys to be able to see Shawn on camera, Isaiah on camera, and see because we all have different tastes in video games. So I think it's very important for you guys to see all of that. But until then, we thank you guys for the support. It's not easy, obviously, launching like a YouTube channel and stuff like that. But especially like if you've never been on camera before, this is new to like many of us. But I feel like we've been doing a very solid job thus far, and I know that the sky's the limit. We're gonna get better. The game chair is gonna get better. Our bounce is gonna get better. Tuck Talk is gonna get better. We have some new shows on the horizon. So stay tuned for more information on that in the next coming weeks. So I'm just truly grateful for everything that we have going on, man. And also a big shout out to the Red Skull as well, and everything that he's been doing behind the scenes with Hydra. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hail Hydra. No, deadass, hail Hydra.